What's up everyone, this is Brad from Brickstar and I am back today with yet another review of another Marvel set. I have gotten quite a few recently, just because, when you see a sale you have to get one. I know I feel like I repeat every time, but I am on a journey to getting every single LEGO MCU set, whether it be polybag, blister packaging, SDCC exclusive or set itself. And this is set 76232, the Hoopty. It is 8+, contains 420 pieces, 3 minifigures, and it released on the 1st of October 2023 and is yet to retire. And it originally retails for $84.99 in the UK, $89.99 in the US, and $94.99 in Europe. Now, this set is still on shelves. This is the most recent Marvel set to come out, or at least one based on the MCU. Obviously, the Marvels is the most recent MCU project to release. If you haven't seen it already, it's a very good film. I really enjoyed it. It's refreshing. A lot of people didn't enjoy it, but I think it was really fun. It's very short, compact, and it has a massive impact on the MCU. But anyway, enough about the film. So this set, I was very, very lucky. The reason I bought this set, I was really waiting. I didn't buy this when it first came out because I was really waiting for it to reduce in price, and thank God I waited, as it did reduce in price. It reduced by £30, so I was like, I have to get this. I think I got it, or maybe £25. I think I got it for £59.99. So overall, I literally saved £25 on this, which I'm very happy about. Mostly because I don't feel like it is worth £85 anyway, but I'll get into that in a minute when I get into the full review. But yeah, so I'm very happy to have bought this set for £60, which I still feel like is a bit too much, but it was reduced twice at my toy store, and I didn't want to. This is an exclusive to Smith's Toy Store in the UK, by the way. And at Smith's Toy Store, it was reduced twice. I didn't want to see if it would get reduced for a third time. So I'm gonna build the set, and I'm gonna start off with the minifigures, give those a review, and then I'll review the set itself. And starting off with the minifigures here, we have Captain Marvel. So of course, she is one of the main characters. All three of these minifigures are the main characters of the film. But this is a brand new minifigure for the set. So this is right now, as of this recording, exclusive. I do believe this will be exclusive for quite a while. I don't think they're going to bring out another set from the Marvel specifically. So this is an exclusive minifigure. If I'm honest, it's a little disappointing. Especially for the price of this set. Obviously, it is really expensive, £84.99. It's almost £90, and there is not even leg printing on Captain Marvel, which is really disappointing. And I guess some people could say that her legs are pretty plain in the suit, but I do believe that there is some sort of definition to the suit that they really could have added here with the legs. Other than that, I mean, it is a nice minifigure. Obviously, we have the new print here on the front. There's a brand new print on the torso. Which it does replicate the suit. It does look like the suit. It's just, it just feels lacking with the lack of leg printing, and there is no arm printing either, so it just feels a bit off. I do really love the hairpiece though. I think the hairpiece really works for Brie Larson. I'm glad of the hair color, because they were going with sort of a gingery color and her hair just was not gingery. This is still like, her color sort of blondie brown, but honestly the blonde is far better choice than the ginger they were going for. They were going for a sort of gingery brown, which just was really off, and they were using for a long time the Black Widow hairpiece, the short Black Widow hairpiece, which really just was not working. So I really do like this hairpiece. This is her first facial expression, which is it's not an angry, but it's also sort of a frustrated. And if I just turn the minifigure around as well, you can see there is some back printing as well. But again, it's not really too detailed. And if I just take off the hairpiece as well, you can see her other facial expression there, which is a happy expression. And as I've said before, with all these Marvel figures, they are basically going for sort of a fighting expression and then a muted happy expression as well. So that is Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. Overall, it's an okay minifigure. I mean, like I said, there are just things about it that bug me, especially for the price, which is kind of why I'm glad I got this so cheap. I mean, I would not have got this. This is why I did not get this minifigure. This set, when it first came out, because there was no way I was spending £84 on this set. But nonetheless, it's still an okay minifigure. Next up on the minifigures, we have Monica Rambeau, aka Photon, which is her superhero alias. Again, another exclusive minifigure. Again, no leg printing, which It's frustrating because I know for sure the suit does not just have black legs, which is really annoying. I mean, if they really want to fully fledge out these suits, why not give them leg printing at the price it's at? They cannot be affording to give us clean, clear legs. It's just a frustrating addition to the set, and I will reiterate that. But nonetheless, I do really like the minifigure. She had a first iteration in the Marvel Studios minifigure series, CMF series, in series 1 from WandaVision. Some people really didn't like her addition in that series. I really liked it because I love WandaVision. I thought it was really cool to get her. This is a different iteration, which is really great. So this is exclusive. Her hairpiece has been the same though. They've used the same hairpiece here, which I think works really, really well for her anyway. I think it's a great hairpiece. The suit is just, I believe, slightly altered. So obviously you've got the actual suit on the torso here. You've got the actual sort of suit markings, which she does end up wearing towards the end of the film. Obviously no arm printing or leg printing, and there is the happy facial expression there. And if you just turn her around as well, she has got more printing on the back torso as well. Again, just completing the suit on the back. And if I just take off the hairpiece, you can see her other facial expression is the more... this time it's not really, again, it's not really a fighting one. It is just more of an angry one. Or a frustrated one, which is kind of strange because I usually go for like a really fighty one and then a happy one. But overall, I do like this minifigure. I do. I just think, again, that the lack of detail is frustrating for the price. If the price was less, I probably wouldn't complain as much. I just think it's a bit of a cop-out from LEGO, really, to do that. But it's great to get an exclusive minifigure nonetheless. And here is our third and final minifigure of the set, and honestly my personal favourite of the three. It is Captain Marvel, it is Miss Marvel. So this is, of course, an exclusive minifigure. It is her first MCU minifigure, and she's only had around, I think she's only had two other, maybe one other minifigure in general. So this is really, really cool to get Miss Marvel in minifigure form, especially in MCU form. Obviously, I'm collecting every set based on the MCU, so it's really, really cool to have the official live-action Miss Marvel in minifigure form. And the suit does look so good on this minifigure. See, this is the thing I don't understand about the other two. Perhaps they compromised on the other two minifigures to have Miss Marvel suit look this great, but Miss Marvel suit looks incredible. So obviously they've done torso printing all the way down to the legs and the feet as well. So the entire suit is shown here, which just looks great. You can even see there is a little bit of texturing with all the dotting on it as well. So they've even textured the suit, which is really, really awesome to see. It does look so accurate. I'm sure, you could nitpick and be like, well, it doesn't have this, doesn't have this, but it looks accurate. It looks great. I do believe this is the suit from the scene, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the film, the scene in which they go to the planet that communicates through dance, as I do believe the texture on it is sort of a cloth texture as opposed to it's like a silky texture as opposed to the sort of metallic suit that she usually wears. So I do believe that is from that scene. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, I really, really love this suit on her. I think the facial expression is great. It just encapsulates everything about her. Obviously, she's very, very energetic. She really brings so much energy to the film. She's just incredible in the film, I can't lie. The hairpiece is great as well. It again suits her really, really well. The whole minifigure encapsulates her personality really, really well. And if I just turn it around as well, you can see that there is also back printing. So if I just take off the hairpiece, you can see that there is also back printing, just completing the suit as well. And this is why I think it is more of the silky cloth suit that she wears. As you can see the texturing there. And there is the second facial expression. So she doesn't actually have a fighting face, which I think is actually rather fitting for Miss Marvel, as she's not a very fighty superhero. So obviously she fights, but she's just so energetic and happy in everything she does. So I think this is quite a bold choice from LEGO for Miss Marvel. So she's got sort of a smirk on this side, and then of course she has the sort of just energetic, happy, buzzing Miss Marvel on this side as well. So overall, I really, really do think this is a great minifigure. And one thing to note with all of these minifigures is that you are given in this set a selection of power blasters and sort of energy blasts and everything. So they come in different sort of shapes and sizes. So there is this one, it's sort of a lengthy one if it wants to focus. There is this lengthy one. There is sort of this large one, which you can use. You can use these for all the different characters. It does show you specifically who to use them for. These ones are specifically shown for Captain Marvel. These are sort of like the fire blasts coming out. So you would just attach that to her hand. If you see, there's just a bit to attach underneath, just there. If it wants to focus, there's a bit to attach. It really doesn't want to focus. It never wants to focus. There's a bit to attach, and you just pop it on her hand like so. If you hear it click in, and these are sort of the non. You can't flick them about. So these are just the blasters as they are. But yeah, those are advised for Captain Marvel. Of course, you can use any of them, really, for any of them. The disappointing thing about it is, if I'm honest, the orange works well for Captain Marvel. So finally, Captain Marvel is getting orange energy blasters, etc. But it doesn't work well for Photon or Miss Marvel. Miss Marvel has a pink, sort of a pinky colour, and Photon has sort of a bluish colour. So it just doesn't work well. I wish, especially as they do in the instruction booklet, show you which ones go with which characters. It's just frustrating that they didn't give different colours. Again, that would have upped the price count, I'm sure, but the price count is already so high, and it's really difficult to understand why when you take a look at the set in the grander scheme of things. So they really, really could have put, you know, the extra colours, the pinks for Kamala Khan and the blues for Monica Rambeau. But nonetheless, they didn't. But at least we have something, I suppose, I should say. And lastly, in regards to the minifigures, there is just a little addition as well that you also get. So you also get 3 cats, which is great. And I guess you can count this one here particularly as a minifigure. Of course, that is Goose. Goose, the cat from the film, who is very beloved in the MCU, of course, gets his own minifigure, sort of in cat form. So I guess you could count that as Goose. There is obviously just a normal face on Goose. It would have been cool if, like they did with Lucky the Pizza Dog, they did sort of a unique face that sort of represents that it is Goose. But of course, it is a ginger cat, and it is a bigger cat. You know it is Goose, and if you have seen the film, again, spoiler alert, you know that Goose has babies, which would be these smaller kittens. So you do get 2 kittens as well. You get a white kitten and a grey kitten, which is great anyway if you're sort of building a city. That's really cool to have. And of course, you get Goose as well. So it is really cool to get these 3 cats as well. And moving on to the set itself. And look, don't get me wrong, I actually really like the set. I think the ship itself looks great. It does look like the ship from the film, sorry. This is the Hoopty, of course, that is what the ship is called. It looks kind of accurate, I can't lie. There are some things about it that aren't accurate, but I mean, all the way around, it is fully fledged out, and it is complete, and it looks like one of the better ships that they've given us from the Marvel line. Like, overall, I think, anyway. I mean, I'd much rather have this than another Quinjet. You know, we've seen so many versions of the Quinjet, which, of course, are great. But it's just great to have another Marvel ship that looks like a superhero ship. I just think it looks great. But if we get into more detail about the ship, so if we just take a look at the top of the ship, again, I really, really like the colours. I like that they've used sort of the pale blue and they've blended it with the grey. It just adds a bit more detail to the ship rather than it being all grey. If they went all grey, it would have looked very boring. And these 2 pieces here are stickered pieces. So this is a stickered piece and this is a stickered piece here, but they are identical. And I really like symmetry in LEGO sets. I know a lot of people don't, but I really, really like symmetry in LEGO sets, so I really, really like that. And again, it just adds that little bit of detail that you need. These wing pieces as well are symmetrical, so these are on both sides. There is one there as well. These wing pieces, unfortunately, they do not move, so these are very much in place. If you do try and move them, they will, of course, break off, but to be honest, that doesn't bother me. I'm not someone who plays with sets, I display them, so for me, that is absolutely fine. But for other people, I can see why that would be a frustration. You do have this little bit underneath the wing as well, which just adds a bit more. It makes it look different. It makes it look different to the Star Wars ships. It makes it look different to the usual Marvel ships. It doesn't just look like a wing. It looks like a bit more of a fully fledged out ship, which again is just a nice thing to see. And of course, you've got the red as well added here, which just adds a bit more colour and vibrance to the ship, I think. if I just turn it around towards the back, you can see that you've got the blue, the round blue pieces, translucent blue to show for the blasters, sort of if it's going off, and they've also incorporated some orange as well. So these are 1x2 blocks, sort of blocks, orange translucent blocks, which again just is really, it's just nice. It just makes the ship look so much better than they had to, and I think blending it with the greys and the pale blue again just works so well. Like I think the designers have done a really great job, and I'm glad that they even finished the ship. You know, we've seen some Lego sets from the Marvel line that have just, on the back of things, have just, you know, forgotten about the back, and, you know, really you can only display it from the front. But that is a really nice addition that they've added. These as well, you can sort of move them, but not very much, if I'm honest. They're sort of designed not to move. They are held in via these sort of two spiky pieces here, so that sort of stops them from moving any more than that. But yeah, there is so much on this back that just looks great. There's even sort of the I keep forgetting the name of the piece all the time. It's like the greater piece. I won't say the greater pieces. I know it's the wrong word. These pieces just under here as well. Just adding that little bit more to sort of show the vents of the ship, which looks great. On top here, this is also a stickered piece on here. I'm not really sure what it's replicating, if I'm honest. I think it would have been better if they'd had sticker pieces here as well to sort of complete that, but I'm not too bothered by it. If I turn it around, you've got the exact same wing. There is another one of these pieces here. Again, just the difference between a sort of a plain piece and adding that bit in just makes the ship look a bit more interesting. And then even with this bit here, to show a window, instead of using a window piece, they've actually created a window with the pale blue and the translucent orange, which just makes it look a whole lot better. Then on the bottom here, this is a sticker piece. Again, it is directly the same on the other side. It's just switched over. And then there is room for little blasters down here, which we don't actually see the ship ever really blast anything. But of course, it wouldn't be a ship without a blaster, so it's great that they've included that. I'm not going to shoot the blasters. I hate shooting the blasters, but these are the same sort of blaster types they've been using for a while now. They were new at one point, but they've been using them for a while now. The ship is actually really great. So it stands on its own. It sort of stands using these two pieces, and then using this front piece here. Even the bottom of the ship is just really, really fledged out. I'm not really sure why there's a gap there, if I'm honest, but it doesn't really matter too much because it sort of helps the sturdiness of the ship, which is fine. If I just turn it around as well, at the top of the ship, you can see sort of this design here as well, sort of the arrow design. And then there is the large orange pane, which I really like this orange paint. I do have one nitpick about it. This is a sticker piece as well, by the way, which I'm not really sure what it's meant to replicate. Again, I probably would have had 3 sticker pieces, but then it would make the visibility of the window really hard. So I understand why they didn't go that route. But I have one nitpick about this paint is that when you're building it, it seems to sometimes it wouldn't go in. I don't know if that was just when I was building it, but it wouldn't stick. Sort of these pieces on the side were actually stopping it from going down, and it was sort of sitting like this, which was a bit frustrating. But it once you fiddle around with it a bit, it does actually end up going in properly, like so. So this does just lift up like so. So that lifts up the entire of the back, really. If I just show you this side, it lifts up the entire of the back. But this is the one issue I do have with the ship, is that there is a massive, massive gap here. In order for that system to work, there is a massive, massive gap here. Of course, if you see again, in order for that system to work. Now, it's great. I really, really love that system because you're able to see the entire ship when you open it up. It's just a bit frustrating for people that want to sort of to have the ship fully fledged out. It's just a bit frustrating that gap is there. Nonetheless, once you look inside the ship, there is a whole lot of detail that is actually kind of like, you wouldn't expect this much detail in the ship. So we have a blaster here, we've got a cup and some sort of coffee at the back. You've got a plant, it's probably a prototype. There is a vinyl record, which is sort of a throwback to Captain Marvel's 90s days. Again, there's another plant, sort of plant life scattered throughout. And then if you turn it around the other side, there is another plant, but it's different plants. They've sort of used the leaf parts there. There is a sort of a cosmic control there. And there is if I can just show you inside, this little blue piece here, which is a stickered piece, which is one of the sort of cosmic, I've forgotten the word again, when it pops up, hologram, there it is, it's a hologram, which is a reference to the film as well, as it's showing, the hologram actually shows one of the worlds that the villain in the film is trying to defeat, which they have to end up saving. And then next to it as well, there is also a science station, just as well there. You can see there's sort of a needle and stuff. And then there is a little blue pane as well next to it, which is kind of hidden in the back, but there's a little blue pane just over here. In the middle of the ship, there is a bed. So you can see there is a bed here. If I just turn it around, there is a bed right here, which I assume is the bed that Captain Marvel uses at the start of when she's on the ship by herself, which is a nice little addition that they even added that, and it just makes it look a bit more cool because it's sort of like a doctor's bed in case one of them gets hurt, etc., which I think is a really, really nice addition. There's just so many little references in this set that I think they didn't need to add, but they did, which is why I do think it is a really good set. I do think that. I just, again, for the money, it's not great. But the set itself is a great set. Like, I can't take away from that. Even sort of how the window looks when you, like, shine it this way. When you face the set forward, how the window looks at the back it just looks different. It looks unique. It looks nice. If you just look at the front of the cockpit as well, there are 3 seats here, so you have 3 spaces. There isn't actually any seats, which is kind of frustrating, but there are 3 spaces for the minifigures. Of course, there's lots of space in here for the cats as well, and these are all stickered pieces as well. So these are all stickered pieces. They're sort of replicating the control panels. So I assume sort of the ship is driven, obviously, with the control panels on the side. Again, which is nice and different. Usually we get like a control panel at the front here. And these two, obviously, these are 2 identical steering sticks. Again, it's just a bit different than having a wheel, but of course, it's not the greatest. But it's fine. It's fine. And then we have 2 separate holograms on each side. So this hologram on this side is showing, I can't even see what that is showing. It's showing something from the film again. I think it is definitely a reference. I think it may be showing the bangle or something. And then the one on this side is referencing one of the characters missing from this set, Nick Fury, if I can just show you there. So that is showing Nick Fury right there on call, which does happen frequently throughout the film. If you have seen it, Nick Fury calls very frequently in the film. And then the stickers are identical on this side for the control panel. So as I said, you can just pop your minifigures in there. I tend to have Photon maybe in the middle, and then maybe Captain Marvel at the back. If I just pop these in, and they do just slot in really, really easily. And then Miss Marvel at the front, as she just feels like, even though it is the Marvels, she was the most energetic and fun. It feels like her sort of film. And then all you have to do is pop that down, and then you can see them in the ship, which is kind of cool. It's really cool that you can see them in the ship. It's great for displayability, which is of course what I like to do. So overall, yeah, that is a really nice feature. So overall, this set, I do believe, is great. Also, sorry. Oh, you've got the cats. You can put the cats anywhere. You can put the cats up here if you want. Yeah, so you got the cats. There you go. Sorry, I'm just going to put the cats on. There you go. Overall, I do believe this set is good. I do. I think the ship looks insanely great. I think it's one of the better Marvel ships we've had in a while. I think the detailing, they really didn't have to go that far, but they did. I think the mix of colours works really, really well. It looks accurate. It is a small version, but I think this is exactly the appropriate size. It's the exactly appropriate size for the ship. It didn't need to be any bigger. I think the addition of the 2 cats is great. The references to the film are really, really great. For a small set, there are a lot of references, which you don't get often, which I think is a nice feature and addition. I just think the price is not good enough. The price is not good enough. The minifigures are lacking so much. Yes, they're exclusive, but other than Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel and Photon are lacking. The sort of blaster pieces. I mean, this is for Miss Marvel. One of the things she would step on, one of the elements she would step on when she uses the bangle, that should be pink. That should not be orange. I know it's little things and it's nitpicky, but it's just a frustration that had that been at pink, this would have been an almost perfect set for me personally. Like I said, the design, for me, is impeccable. I think the design is brilliant. I really, really love the design. And, you know, credits goes to the designer. I just think maybe it would up their piece count and they'd have to up the price, but I just think they could have done better with the minifigures and the pieces. But nonetheless, this is the Hoopty. Do you guys have this set? Do you like this set? Let me know your thoughts and comments below. Of course, as I say every time, I'm just doing this channel to share my love of Lego with fellow Lego lovers. So please like, subscribe, share, etc. And I will see you all on the next review.